guys, this is us. We have things to say. And when we saw Shohei Ohtani pitch 3 innings in a sim game on Tuesday at Petco, we thought, when will we see him on a big league mound? And Dave Roberts was asked that question. If we'll see him before the All-Star break, he said, Bill Ripken, north of 0%. What does that mean? Welcome back inside.
I don't know what it means. Quite frankly, I don't. Less than 0? Remember that?
No, he said more than 0.
He said
Robert Downey Jr.
What was the actual question again? When will we see him?
Will we see him before the All-Star break?
So the answer is a percentage of yes. That's what he said. Anything north of 0 means yes.
All right, I'm going to say no. We don't see him before the break. He threw 44 pitches yesterday. Mark Pryor, reading his comments, said once they start to get in that 70-pitch range, I think you protect him at all costs.
No doubt. He's probably gearing up.
Attrition for the Dodgers.
He's probably gearing up for your squad.
World Baseball Classic.
Well, he's going to get everything we got. Know that. Know that, Shohei.
If you're watching.
I want that push again.
Not up in here. Not up in here.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's a battle to, like what the Yanks will do with Stanton from an offensive side. I know he threw out 2 knocks yesterday, but you just need him at the end.
But we say that, but they're one game lead.
You got to get in. I know you want to win the division.
Okay.
I know you want to win the division. I think they're still going to win the division. But ultimately,
play the long game.
They've been able to hold serve with starters,
which is remarkable.
Games. It's remarkable that they're able to do it.
Okay. Dodgers 12 games over 500. Meanwhile, the Tigers are 20 games over 500. Wow is right. I was on MLB.com and was reading this, and Nays confirmed it the last time that was the case. Their lineup was Miggy and Prince and Vmart and Torrey Hunter and Verlander and Scherzer was their rotation. Last trade deadline. 2013. They sent Jack Flaherty to the Dodgers. This trade deadline, what puts them over the...
Shohei Ohtani is expected to join the Dodgers rotation at some point next month. Alden Gonzalez tweeting yesterday that there's a slight chance it could occur before the All-Star break. The reason, his progress, but also the added roster spot. He can return as a 2 to 3 inning starter. That's the end of his tweet, I'll add. So that someone besides Kike Hernandez could multiple innings to save the pitching staff.
Key, you know what the key thing in that whole tweet was?
What?
The roster spot. He doesn't cost him a roster spot like a lot of other pitchers do. That's the key. That's why this is easier for the Dodgers than any other team to do, because of that rule they put in with the 2-way. You can still carry 13 pitchers and have Shohei on the team a 2-way. So that's the key, the roster spot. To do this, and they don't, because most teams would have to, if they were trying to rehab a guy at the big leagues, they would lose another pitcher. But because of this rule, they don't.
Yeah, well, they're encouraging more unicorns, even though we haven't seen any.
Because it's nearly impossible to do.
Exactly.
It's nearly impossible.
Jack Caglione throws 97, and they were like, dude, go hit dingers. Like, this is so hard to do. Like, it's the rule that they just made to just help the Dodgers win. It's unfair. It's unfair. The Dodgers just get everything.
Well, they're not going to win 130 games like some of you out there.
By the way,
said.
Listen, I'm the biggest Jack Caglione fan there is out there, but, pitching now. No.
Not pitching.
No.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Hey, Dave Roberts said there is a, quote, north of 0 chance that Ohtani joins the rotation before the All-Star break. So do you think he will join the rotation before the All-Star break? To me, when they say that about Shohei, I actually kind of buy it. I'm like, but the only thing is, what are you going to do? You're going to have him do one outing?
Here's the only problem I have with this whole thing is when I saw the Dodgers a couple weeks ago and I talked to some people that were kind of into it.
Yeah.
They were saying that he hasn't thrown breaking balls and he's really afraid to throw the split. He's just, like, most of his outings have been all heaters, right? He hasn't thrown sliders, he hasn't thrown cutters, he hadn't thrown curveballs, he hadn't thrown splits. So until he can get out there and actually do that, which maybe he's done his last couple outings, but this was a couple weeks ago and they were like, he will only throw fastballs. And he was supposed to throw breaking balls the next day because his outing got rained out the day I was there, and he still, I don't think, did it.
I think he has, but don't quote me on it. I mean, he had 44 pitches in his 3 simulated innings.
And by the way, simulated inning is not the same.
I know. What did he throw, Kratz? What do you know?
He threw a few breaking balls. That one day, they counted how many breaking balls he threw in his side session. But I don't think he's thrown it on the mound against hitters yet.
Okay. So what do you think is going to happen? He's not going to use those pitches?
No, I'm just saying, like, he needs to be able to throw those pitches before he gets out there, Scott.
He's all fastballs now.
That's fine. There's guys that did that.
There are.
Lance Lynn did that for years.
He did.
And someone throw 100 pitches and throw one little breaking ball, and the rest were 4-seamers or 2-seamers.
Hey, Snell and Glasnow threw bullpen sessions on Tuesday as well.
Okay. Huh? Good luck.
Maybe that's
Dodgers.
why Dalton Rushing. That's why Dalton Rushing's up and sitting on the bench, so they can have a big league catcher rehabbing all of their rehabbing pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, he's exhausted. He's working with quite the staff. He gets to catch aces even when it's not a
Spirit All-Star ballot watch. And this is arguably the toughest position to choose from when you're selecting National League All-Star
Isn't it
at shortstop.
time for Lindor? Isn't it time for Lindor to start?
Is that how you judge it?
Well, his numbers support it.
Yeah.
He's been one of the most clutch players the first half, in my opinion. Nays, has he hasn't been to an All-Star game, I don't believe.
That's ridiculous.
Lindor hasn't?
Come on.
Yeah.
Nays,
If you're right about that,
He's been.
sure?
He may not have started.
I remember that being a thing.
So you like Lindor as the starter at
Yeah.
shortstop for the
To me,
National
he's
League.
the guy.
You, Bill? You?
and CJ should be backing him up.
Okay.
Because if you're just looking at the numbers alone right there,
Yeah.
I don't believe that it's somebody's time that they need to. I believe everything should be deserved and
Looking at
warranted.
him right
but
now.
The dude, yeah.
I used to think stars. I used to think that, and obviously Francisco Lindor is so deserving. But then when I talked to you, Dero, and I remember you saying I would have died to be an All-Star, and there were years that you were deserving of it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's
I
all
think
what the fans
maybe
want, right?
A little different.
You
I don't
can
know.
answer this. Your brother, he got to start in a few All-Star games, and I wanted to see Cal Ripken Jr.
Sure.
play regardless
And
of his
I'll tell
batting
you this.
average.
So think about the star thing of it. I remember one of those years. It might have been Junior's last year when he hit the homer in Seattle in the All-Star game. He was struggling out of the gates, and he didn't like seeing his name at the leaderboard for votes because he didn't think that was
deserved
right.
it, yeah.
And I think he turned it around a little bit going into that. Numbers started to improve, and he goes, "Okay, I'm good." But he didn't like that automatic kind of thought process. I mean, there gets to be a point in time, because I'm part with you on this one. There needs to be a select few there because of what they've done, and that's all the stardom that brings. But I'd hate to see somebody that might have one shot that's playing so out of their rear in one half a year for them to miss out because of something else.
I don't know if
Lindor's
it's a
a-
starter. Go ahead.
He's a four-time All-Star.
Okay.
He's never started.
Never started.
Okay. I don't know if he's
Yeah, he's
starting
been too
or,
good
or,
not to
or
be
what,
going.
but I'd like to see Ellie De La Cruz there.
Sure.
I would like to see that. All right, fill out your 2025